My name is Sean Townsend. I'm the director of the Mayor's Office of Nightlife and Culture. I want to thank everybody for being here today. Let's give it up for yourselves. So we're here today to celebrate culture of DC, and you can't have a conversation about culture in DC without speaking about go-go first. So there are a lot of folks in this room from the go-go community, outside of the go-go community, who have been supportive from the 70s to a week ago. And I just want to say I appreciate you all. I've definitely learned a lot about the culture of what go-go means to the culture of DC over the past year that this office has been in inception. So I want to thank all of you for supporting go-go. I'd like to thank Councilmember McDuffie from Ward 5 for the introduction of the legislation. And last but certainly not least, I'd like to thank our mayor, who's been supportive of the culture from day one in DC. Let's give it up for our mayor. So the Office of Nightlife and Culture, we have a commission of 15 members, and we wanted go-go at the table when we have these conversations, not only about the culture, but nightlife in DC. So we thought it was very important to have Commissioner Glover, Anwar Glover, from the Backyard Band on that commission. So let's give it up for Commissioner Anwar Glover.
How y'all feel? First of all, this is a huge day, right? That our music is going to finally be in the books. So when I'm out of town, they can say, okay, finally got your music stamp. We want to thank all of the old school guys that started everything. We want to thank our mayor, Muriel Bowser, which is here. Kenya McDuffie, the one to introduce the bill, Trayon White. That's Ward 5 and Trayon's Ward 8. We have pretty council members here and family members. Like, this is huge. I'm going to try to hold it in because I cried earlier because this is super big. The significance of go-go for me, it took care of my family. You know what I mean? We was always working on the front line. Also, we were introduced to politics from Moulton when we had Pizza Hallers back in the day, laying in the street, fight for what we fight for. Also, with Ceasefire Don't Smoke the Brothers, Mr. Malik Farrakhan, learned so much from that brother. And just being a go-go head from uptown Washington, D.C., you know what I'm saying? Playing on buckets, learning from Junkyard. It feels good to be finally being noticed and recognized. Because when I'm out of town, they say, okay, I was able to still be able to work on TV and make my money at home. That's why I didn't move to L.A. or move to New York. I got to get up every day and right here. You know what I mean? So I want to do more with our family members and things in the nature of that. But with a strong mayor that we have in our city, with a lady mayor that's pushing and doing so much for our city, I don't want to hold up too much time, but just know we working super hard to keep doing what we doing and making these records and showing everybody in the world that we are go-go in our city. We love y'all.
Hello, DC. When I say go-go, you say is DC. Go-go. 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 And today we're going to let the world know that go-go is DC. Go-go is our native language. Now, some of us were super blessed. We were born right here in Washington, D.C. And we don't say that we're proud to be native Washingtonians to exclude anybody. We just say we're native Washingtonians because we're proud of it. And no matter where you go, if you're like me, everybody knows you're from D.C. They know about the shrimp boat. They know about Chuck Brown. They know about Ben's Chili Bowl. They know about the Howard University. And now they know Go-Go is DC. And we have our council members to thank for making sure that no matter when you come to DC, you will know that it is the law of the land that Go-Go is the official music of Washington, D.C. So our good friend Marion Barry, before he died, he created the Office of African American Affairs in the mayor's office. And at the time, people said, hey, that's Chocolate City. Why do you need an Office of African American Affairs? And he knew what we all know now is that we have to do everything in our power to protect our culture. And we don't have to apologize for it. And I will tell you that Go-Go has taken him a long way. And he will also tell you, like he tells people in California and anybody else who will listen, that artists, musicians, creatives can work in Washington, D.C. You don't have to go to L.A. or New York or New Orleans. You can earn a living and raise your families right here in Washington, D.C. Now, there's a lot that we got to do. We got to keep working on affordable housing, right? We got to keep on working on safety in our communities, right? We have to keep on making sure that everybody gets a fair shot in Washington, D.C. Now, Kenyon and Trayon and I, we're lucky, like a lot of you, we were born here. But we also get to be leaders of 14 people, really, that decide how $15.5 billion gets spent each and every year. Now, it's one thing to have an official music, but we also know we have to put our shoulders to the wheel to make sure we're getting behind, making sure that that is a real legacy for generations of people to come. So we're going to use our Office of Nightlife and Culture. Let's give it up for the Nightmare. They call him the Nightmare. I told him I'm the Nightmare too. I want to give it up for our Office of Film, Television, Music, and Entertainment, Angie Gates. And I want to give it up for the Go-Go community. Where is the Go-Go community? All the musicians, everybody who sets up all the venues and managers and bookers, where are the lady Go-Go musicians? Michelle, are you representing for the lady Go-Go musicians? Let's give it up for Michelle Blackwell. But I've said enough. You know what the purpose of us being here today. I'm going to join with my friends on the council because Kenyon McDuffie made sure that everybody was listening. He drafted the legislation, and he is behind so many initiatives to make sure that Native Washingtonians always are represented in policy, in budget, in school buildings, in businesses, in corridors, and now in arts and entertainment. Do me a favor, give it up for my friend, Kenyon McDuffie.
Oh, man. It has been hard not to smile today. Ever since the mayor reached out and said that she wanted to do a ceremony to make sure that we captured the moment where she put her signature across this legislation, I've been excited about this day. I will tell you, this mayor, unlike a lot of other elected officials in this city, understands what it means to be DC born and bred. I know a lot of you all out here understand what it means to be DC born and bred. Even if you don't always agree, you got to understand people who know this city like no other. Mayor Muriel Bowser has fought for affordable housing. She's fought to make sure we have jobs for people who live in the city. She's fought to make sure that people can live in a safe city. Let's give it up for Mayor Muriel Bowser. And importantly, she knows go-go music. So when they try to shut the music down for Donald Campbell on the corner of 7th and Florida Avenue, Trayon was familiar with that corner. I was familiar with that corner. The mayor was familiar with that corner. We knew that we grew up hearing music blaring on that corner, right? We grew up listening to Sugar Bear, listening to Funk, listening to Michelle, listening to Big G do their thing. We also know that go-go is more than music. It's more than a simple genre. It is our homegrown genre. It is the catalyst that supplied the means for people to take care of themselves and their families. It is the way that people stayed out of the streets for a lot of folks who were involved with go-go music early on. And I also want to give a shout out to the godfather of go-go music. He's not here today, but he's looking down at us, saying we got it right. On three, can we say wind me up, Chuck? 1, 2, 3, wind me up, Chuck. This is indeed a great day. I'm so happy to be here. I want to thank Mayor Muriel Bowser again for making this happen. I want to thank Donald Campbell. I want to thank Ron Moten, Natalie Hopkins. Let's get them up for the Don't Mute DC movement too. Because they help amplify for the world what it means if you try to shut down go-go music. Go-go will not be muted. The residents of the District of Columbia will not be silenced. And I want to thank all of them for that. I also want to thank my man Cam Poos, who actually came to me and was like, we got to do something to make sure this is official and it goes into the record books, which is why we introduced that bill to make it happen. So I want to thank Cam, thank Ron, thank Natalie, thank everybody who's been a part of this, and importantly, thank y'all for showing up at the corner 14th of U, at the corner 7th Florida Avenue, wherever there was the sound of go-go music, y'all stood up and said, we will not be silenced. Thank you all. I appreciate you all. We've also been joined by my friend and colleague of Ward 8, Trayon White. Let's make some noise for Trayon White as well.
God is good. I want to thank our Mayor, Muriel Bowser, for her leadership. A friend of mine, Councilmember King McDuffie for Ward 5. Give it up for those two leaders. I believe that everything rises and falls on leadership. And there's DC in the house. Say what now? I said there's DC in the house. Say what now? I know I'm in my city, so I know we have Funk over here, Sugar Bear over here, giving honor to some of the legends in D.C. that laid the groundwork. I don't know about you, but I'm a little younger, so I came up doing the hee-haw, the funky breakdance, TL. Y'all don't know about that, man. Y'all know about the hee-haw? Oh, I'm about to say, yeah. But I'm excited to celebrate this day because far too many times in our city we see that those indigenous people of D.C. are getting left out of the equation. And so we're in a fight not just for our music, but for our culture. And the more we stand up and stand on the front line to advocate for each other, we're stronger together. We got a lot of things we can disagree on, but we got more things in common. So music has been a unifier in our city. I don't know about you. When I grew up and we say we was going to the go-go, my whole street got together. And we started walking till we got there. Then we trying to figure out how we going to get home. If you don't know, you're not familiar with that, you ain't from D.C., man. You done missed the whole thing. I'm 5'2" now, so I was probably about 4'11". We was walking, and then we had a couple of friends with us. You know what I mean? But D.C. is home to me. Go-Go, we got to keep it alive. I want to thank Ronald Moten and this movement, Don't Mute D.C. That's been huge. I know I've been in checking and got me a sweatsuit. I see Sean and King got their sweatsuits on, but we got to keep our culture alive because our culture is fleeting, you guys. We talked about Chocolate City, where we used to be 78% African American, now we 47%. And with the high disparities between health disparities and the crime, we have a whole lot to be fighting against. So we have to unify to make sure we preserve our culture and our history right here in the nation's capital, because we are DC. Thank you. God bless.
All right, let's sign that bill. We're coming down over here, and then Kenya will be back to introduce our go-go.